I just found out that the let's finish setting up your device on Windows is a scam. The PC, the laptop still works perfectly. I'm literally controlling my PC right now. The mouse is moving and stuff. Um, but the laptop that controls it pretends to be frozen. It's funny. I'm upset. I'm very upset. I've been trying to make my life better for about 2 months, and I suck at it. I'm really bad at it, which is normal because I just haven't done it much before. Before I was trying to like respond to specific shit, so like if I woke up one morning after having slept like 2 hours, I'd be like, oh man, this is now, you know? But now it's more sort of a general sense, based on, I mean, everything, based on me more maybe than the past. I don't know, based on what I want rather than what I failed to do, maybe. Um, I don't know. I don't know if I'm just saying bullshit. I think there's something super sexy about sounding smart. And so a lot of people that say intellectual stuff probably get such a kick out of just saying things that that they yeah, I think they just let the thing flow, you know? And we've talked about the pros and cons of doing that, of pure stream of consciousness against organized concepts, but yeah, one of the real cons of stream of consciousness is you just are able to use all of the turns of sentences and little um, oh gimmicks of language that just sound cool, and it just fills up the space instead of the actual content. But I'm emotional, so that should be good. There's this fucking song about giving your girlfriend cunnilingus on the couch in my head, and I don't know what to make of it. Uh, um, I'm upset because I have knee pain for about a month. I was talking about this yesterday. I do this thing where I dip my arms in hot and cold water, and so I stand like 30, 40 minutes a day or something. I stand pretty much still and no breaks, no nothing. And I mean, you don't think about it, but yeah, same thing for all parts of the body. Everything needs a break, and I just kind of have bad knees. I've had bad knees for a while. Probably I just don't care too much because I have to do something with the knee and whatever, and then it hurts and then it heals, or it doesn't hurt anymore, you know. And if I stand for a long time, it will hurt, but that's just like everybody, you know. I don't know, man. When I was 17, I went in the Alps with my father and a buddy of his, and we walked for like a week. But you know, they're two strong men, so the things were kind of planned for them. I sort of just joined in last second, I think. I mean, I think my dad didn't really think I would be there, but I actually wanted to go, and it was actually a really great experience because it took me out of Minecraft, which I was so deep in, and I was so deep in it. Then while I was walking, I was like thinking of music half the time and Minecraft half the time, and I was like planning this album. Wanted to get this singer friend of mine. I mean, not friend of mine, but singer in another band that I knew to sing on my shit, and then I was like, oh, we could make a gold farm and sell so many crapples. Just the idea of that, just the idea of storing the crapples and shulks and stuff, I was ecstatic. So much dopamine just thinking about it. I was so deep in. It's crazy. It's fucking nothing. It's meaningless, and it was back then. And I knew that, but it was just something, you know? People hold on to something, anything. So, it was pretty long days, I guess, and it was a lot of climbing and a lot of walking on flat land, but a lot of going down, of course, and that kills your knees. And I had how do you sticks, so I wouldn't fuck him up too bad, but it still kind of hurt. And it's not that it's not been the same ever since. I'm just trying to find what the fuck the flare up is. Like, why do I have bad knees? The fuck, I'm 20. I never did anything crazy with my knees. Some people just have bad knees. I don't know. That's one of the problems with me. Like, something hurts and I'm trying to think of it so deep. It's just I've been using my knees quite a bit recently. It's just what it is, and they've not been working out in a healthy way probably, and I don't move much, don't move enough, and my seat is too high up, so I get into awkward positions. Legs aren't 90 degrees and need to fix all of this stuff, and it's just, I don't want to get into that, but it kind of feels like pain is everything. Like, pain in your hand is actually pain everywhere, because you get pain in your hand, and then it's the whole arm, and it's the shoulder, it's the neck, and you do hydrotherapy and you have to stand and you hurt your knee and stuff like that. So it's really like, am I too slow? Should I attack this way more aggressively? Just throw more money at it, more time at it, more energy, more mental space? If I do that, I won't have a life, really. Like, I won't have anything else going on. It's so hard to find balance. But yeah, I mean, when I think about the RSI now, I talked about this yesterday with a friend. I was like, I mean, of course I got it. Of course I got that. Because I was here, arrived in this house, I didn't have a bed. Slept on the couch for like a month. Slept on an inflatable bed for like 4 months. 3 months before the RSI started, and 1 month after. Woke up my ass on the floor. Was incredibly stressed out. Bad posture. Bad organization. Remember, a couple nights I started playing at 6 p.m. and stuff. I don't know what I said, what I didn't say. It doesn't matter. It's just, out of these things that I do to make my life better, journaling is a big one. Because if you know where you are, you are. It's difficult to be if you just don't know. If you can't even tell what the fuck you did yesterday, how the fuck can you pretend you exist? It's sad, but memory is literally one of the most important things in life. It is sad, because your memory by default, if it's not trained, it's so selective and you just remember the bad stuff. I was waking up this morning thinking about one night when I was at a friend's house, and there was a party or something, and we went out to the bar and stuff, and I have no idea what year that even was. I just don't remember. I think it was 2019, but I don't know the month. Usually I could tell exactly, but now it's just the bad stuff. I can tell exactly when it was. I remember specific nights like these. I remember a ton of them. And some dating years and years and years prior to that, and all the bad ones I remember exactly. So the point of the journal is, I guess, to write down the good stuff too. And it's to just know what you do, just know who you are. It's not easy to face yourself and analyze yourself. But if you take the journal and you read what you wrote a month ago, you're like, oh, this is a person that I can picture. And I can imagine what their life is like. And damn, that has given me some insight about me. So I'm trying to do that. And for some fucking reason, I just stopped for like 3 weeks at some point. You know, this crazy thing, that is exactly why I exist. That is exactly the challenge of existence, is like, you miss one day and it's 11 p.m., you're starting to sleep earlier, you're tired, you have music in your ears or something, and you know, your eyes are closing, and instead of grabbing the journal and writing in it, you're like, I'll do it tomorrow. And tomorrow you forget all day, and now it's night, and you feel the same, but you have 2 journals to write now, and you're like, oh fuck, 2 days, can't do this shit. And then maybe a week later, you're like, okay, gotta get my shit together, gotta journal this whole entire week so I know where I am, and I can, you know, go on from there. And I let that happen for, I guess, 3 weeks. I have a problem with days that I can't remember. Days where I can't really say what I did. I don't ever want to feel that again. I call them black days, after the Soundgarden song. First time I heard that song, it just understood so well that concept. I don't know why, it just fell on black days. Like, yeah, that makes all the sense in the world. So yeah, I guess I try to set out to not have any more black days. Which you can't do, really. I don't know, maybe you can't. You know, what I should probably do is just go on from there. Give up on the journal, give up on the black days. They weren't even black days. Because I would usually do nothing on a black day. I was productive every single day, at least a bit. But I just, like, didn't write it down. And memory is so crazy because you cannot trust yourself. At some points, you know, when it's a Monday or something, one of those Mondays I must have been like, oh, I remember the weekend pretty accurately because I had, you know, I had this thing then and this thing then, and I can sort of piece the rest of the week together according on that, according to that. But you can't. If you wait too long, it all becomes a blur, and I hate it. I fucking hate it. So I have a lot of work, and even the weeks prior to those 3 last weeks have been missing, I was already journaling and I already wanted to not have black days. I've been journaling for 2 months, basically every single day. That's what I want, but I have 3 fucking missing weeks, at least. And I think I already had holes in this thing because this had already happened for like a period of 2 weeks, and it took me so long to catch up, and I felt like I wasn't even living all that while because it just felt like I was chasing the sun. It's just such an obsessive feeling of like literally having to get your life back, literally having to piece together what the fuck you have been being, you know, for like 2 weeks or 3 weeks. And little things like that are exactly the thing. That's exactly life. That's exactly the challenge for me. Just being consistent and existing. And the thing with the journal is I journal about the day at the end of the day, but at the beginning of the day, what I try to do is I set goals for myself for the day. Just draw boxes and I can tick them off as the day progresses, and I love that. And if I don't journal, I don't do that. If I have like 3 weeks worth of journaling to catch up, I don't even, in the morning I don't even set goals, because the whole goal is to get the journal back, and then it's like it just feels like self-sabotage. And of course those issues are pretty up Maslow's pyramid, and it's weird. It's weird that I care so much about like journaling when, I don't know, my body's in pain and I have no friends here. That's hard to say. It's easier to be a disembodied voice that just talks about philosophy than to say, hey, yeah, I have no friends here. But it's true. So I think this is weird. I think I'm sort of where I started, which is okay because I was confused from the start, but do I want this to be my outlet? I thought about orgasms this morning too. Just, I guess I never really got them. I was thinking like how close together it gets people when like you orgasm together, and that just solidifies any relationship, any type of relationship, even if it's just about the orgasms. It's just, you can't fight that. You're still an animal. The oxytocin still rules you, and you can't fight it at all. There's nothing you can do. If you orgasm with someone, you're closer together immediately. And you might want to run immediately afterwards. That's not because you're not closer. That's because you're disgusted that you're closer sometimes. And you're like, damn, this is the person I got closer to? But you are closer. And this is sort of an extreme example, but it's the same with conversation, you know? The people you talk to, you get closer to them, and eventually, like, you go to them by default. I'm sure you've had that in your life where, you know, you've been talking to this person a couple times in real life or by message, you know, and once you feel bad at night or something, you just go talk to them, and you think you forget about it, but you remember it, and a month later you feel bad again, and you just, where the first time maybe you had to think about it for a second and you were like, oh, who should I open up to, you just go to them automatically, and that's kind of the person you open up to, and maybe do the same with you. And that's how friendships, relationships solidify too. I don't want to solidify a relationship with you. I literally have no friends. I can't really do that. It's strange. I gotta follow Maslow, man. I gotta start at the bottom and get all that shit together and then build up. And the thing about not needing to know to start stuff is true. And I also think it's true with art. I didn't do nothing. You know, I didn't betray my philosophy of trying instead of waiting to be sure and just doing. Or I don't know, doing right away, I guess is the answer, right? As Yoda said, but I'm just, I have to translate what the fuck I mean. I'm just saying I'm gonna pause this, and this wasn't a mistake. No, this was a beautiful thing. I just need a break. Everything pisses me off. I care about stupid things. I'm pissed about YouTube. YouTube is so shit at telling you how they work. Even trying to figure out YouTube subtitles and why. Like, it's a fucking maze, man. If you set the language of the video, then automatic subtitles won't happen, but they actually do happen. You just need to validate them. But if you don't set the language, they will happen automatically. But if you go into the settings and say, like, censored subtitles, then there's little brackets that will appear. But if you don't click that, instead of the brackets, it's just gonna be nothing. So it's gonna make no sense. All the bad words like fuck and shit and stuff like that. YouTube tries their hardest to never show that in subtitles. So unless you write it yourself, basically they don't do it anymore. They used to do it everywhere, even in auto-generated subtitles. Now they've found ways to confuse the fuck out of creators to make it extremely complicated to even show that stuff, even if you write it yourself or something. I don't understand it. I don't know what's going on. And tags and thumbnails and hashtags and descriptions and comments and pinned stuff and end screens and cards and stuff. It's all very confusing to me right now. So obviously it extends to this channel where I don't do any of that stuff, but I just still that bad feeling of YouTube. I guess I've been doing it too much. I don't know. I don't want to tell you this, really. I'm doing much better, but I still kind of don't know who I am. And I'm gonna have a hard time getting anywhere. It's not gonna be pretty. So I kind of just have to go through that alone, and here's the process. Before I started this, I wanted to never journal online. No, I started it and I'm like, fuck shame. Shame kills. You can journal, that's fine. And now I'm not back where I started, but I'm just like, I need to journal, and I'd rather actually journal, because whenever I do this, I sort of don't feel the need to actually do what I did before. Grab the phone, talk to it, write my feelings down, journal. Because literally I haven't journaled in 3 weeks, but I'm talking about the paper thing, but on the phone either, so I'm gonna have to literally listen back to these to find where I was, and that annoys me. I don't think that's how I should proceed. I think my outlet should be mine, and then I can share again on here when I'm sure about it. I kind of want to be a little more sure about it now. I felt like I overshared a little bit after that really long one. But I don't know if that's the case. I think it's okay. I just don't want to do it again, really. Huh. Exactly like the dream I had tonight. Crazy dreams. Tonight sort of felt, the power of dreams. Tonight sort of felt like I was in a simulation and they messed up the settings or something. And I woke up and I felt like the entire world was just my room, repeating and repeating everywhere all the time. And that's maybe because I've been having a little too similar of days lately. But I was just like, the dreams are so potent that there's no way this is not like chemically induced or induced to the computer or something. Dreams do feel like you don't exist because they're just too crazy. You're like, I couldn't come up with that shit on my own. Oh, damn, I don't know what that is. Well, that about does it, I guess. I'm fine, it's just, something got stuck. I'm gonna get some water. The water's clear and innocent.